Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Valpo Football Weekly, presented by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. Brandon Vickery with you. Glad to be joined by the head coach of the Valpo football program, Landon Fox, as we get ready for rivalry week. And we'll talk about the Hoosier helmet in just a few minutes. But let's start by talking about the bye week and look back at this past week of practice. Fill us in. How did you get better as a football team from a week ago to right now?
Yeah, very similar to what we've done in the past, with our bye weeks. And when you do that, you give the guys a little time off at the beginning of the week, at the end. But what you really try to do is the first couple of days is you're focusing on yourself and your fundamentals and techniques and making sure schematically you're in a good spot. And then later on in the week, then you start to transition to the next week's opponent. But the main focus was on us, and thought the guys did a good job in terms of, hey, coming out this week and being different too of a double bye week. That's something that we kind of had with the Stetson game being postponed, but trying to just take advantage of the time and the opportunity that we had to go out and practice and continue to improve as a team.
There may be a little more of a chance for you to keep an eye on the other PFL games without having a game yourself. And looking at the three teams that you've lost to in PFL play, they've turned out to be, as of right now, the top three teams in the standings. They have a combined 13-2 record with Drake at 5-0, Morehead State, the surprise team, at 4-1, St. Thomas at 4-1. What do you kind of make of the league overall this season? What's your take on how the PFL is shaping out?
Every week's a tough week. I think that, and any score that happens during the week, it doesn't surprise me. And so the Maris game, they lose 19-0 to Drake, but they have some opportunities, and just like in other games that you saw them play. And so week to week, anything can happen. And that is something, Brandon, that you said that, and talked to the staff about it, in terms of like, hey, not that we won't play good teams moving forward, and anybody can beat anybody, but we have played what I thought was a very good team. And you knew that, Drake, you knew that from last year and the people that they had. Well, you watched the Morehead State on film, you knew going into it, hey, they've done a nice job. And St. Thomas, continues to be St. Thomas in terms of they've been a good team. And so I think the guys, I think for our players and the staff, like, yeah, you do want to keep that in mind. Like, we've played good teams, and we will continue to play good teams moving forward, but hopefully that has prepared us for what's ahead.
Speaking of what's ahead, it's rivalry week. How do you explain what the Hoosier Helmet rivalry means to your team? How do you put into words the significance of Saturday's game?
Yeah, I think that the words are challenging, just because it does mean so much. And not only with the current guys that you have on your team, but the guys who played in the rivalry in the past. And to have that competitiveness that, like, you want to, that game, I mean, means everything. I mean, it does. And is one game more important than the other? Yeah, it is. But how you play it is not. But the Hoosier helmet's a big deal. It's a big deal for them. It's a big deal for us. Nobody hides behind the fact that that's not a big game. And I mean, only two teams in the same state in the PFL, and it just creates a lot of excitement for the game, and which is good for the players and the Valpo, really the community.
And then the team from Indianapolis has put up points this season. They've scored 40 or more in six of their seven wins, 48 against Davidson, 46 against Stetson the last 2 weeks. What's led to them being so prolific offensively?
Yeah, to me, they just do a really good job schematically, in terms of this is who they are and this is what they do, and which is a lot of quarterback run. And when you get the quarterback involved and run the football, they get an extra hat in the run game. And so they've done a nice job with that. And it's, it continues drives. They keep drives alive by, hey, 3 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. And that's something they did to us last year. We were able to keep points on the scoreboard, limit yards to a certain degree, but they kept drives going on third downs, because they do create a lot of third and shorts. And when you're able to run plays, and create third downs, to get third downs, the plays lead to points. And so it's very important that you got to win first and second down to even give yourself a chance on third.
There are a few more keys you can share, a few more things you'll have in mind that'll be important in Saturday's game.
Yeah, I think I mean, you hit it in terms of we got to be able to limit points. You got to do that by third down. And then our third down is huge offensively. We have to do a good job keeping them off the field. You look back at a Dayton game that they got beat in, and I believe it was 41 plays that they may have ran offensively. It wasn't a whole lot. I know that. So we have to do that on third down and sustain drives. And then we have to have the ability to score in the red zone. You look back at last year's game, missed 3 field goals in the red zone, a couple of fourth down opportunities. So you have to be able to score touchdowns when you get into the red zone. Kicking game will be key. They've done a really nice job in their kicking game statistically. I think, I don't think. I know we have very good kickers that will help us in terms of Ryan Hawkins, kicker, and Sam Johnson at punter. So we have to be able to do it schematically with position players on the special teams as well. And so if we can make that a big part of the game, I think that would be big as well.
As the head coach of the Valpo football program, Landon Fox. It's a big one this week, a 1 o'clock kickoff at Brown Field. Tickets.valpoathletics.com to purchase your tickets in advance. We hope to see you out at the game on Saturday. We'll talk to you again next week on Valpo Football Weekly, presented by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.